In Affinity Photo, you can create all kinds of amazing brush strokes with noise textures. And you can create noise textures super easy using a basic filter. And I'm going to show you how in this video, PC or Mac. First thing to do, create a layer. So layer and new layer. And then you can go to the filters menu and purl in noise. That can be found in the noise menu. Go to filters, noise, and you can see purl in noise. Purl in noise, great settings. Just 3, but they're really powerful, combined in different ways. Also, another thing to point out is this. Go down here, the colours here, black and white. The colours here, black and white. If you put them to red and green, you would get a red and green effect here. I'm going to go with black and white. So black and white there. Then I can change octaves. You can see that creates that sort of effect. Personally, I'm just going to keep that down to the 2. Can't push it down to 1. And also zoom. You can zoom in and out. I'm just going to go with something like that. So about 48. Now you can modify persistence. That doesn't always have an effect. Depends on the octaves here. So if it doesn't have an effect, that's the reason. Blend mode I'm going to keep as normal. Click apply. So I've got my initial noise effect and I can use that as a brush texture. All the brushes can use this texture design. How do you do that? Well, what you need to do is go to File and you can go down to Export. I'm going to save it as a PNG file. Now, another option, if you want to save these files but don't want to save them as files, you can store them away maybe in your assets, which you can find in the window menu. So let's just save this. You've got this design. I'm going to go with PNG. There's probably other formats that it uses. PNG is just useful because it's useful for Photoshop and other applications as well. So I'm just going to go PNG and click Export. I'm going to save it to a file 1.png. I've already got one already, so it's going to say replace. Yes, replace it. Well, what you can do now is you can apply your filter again. You can apply it multiple times, though it does get a bit of a mess if you do it too many times. So you can go over to the filters menu and again down to noise. So filters, noise, and then down to purl in noise. Purl in noise selected. It's going to apply the same effect. So you're going to see no difference. Well, what you can do is you can change things. So here you can change the zoom and I'm going to zoom out a bit. And you can see it gets a lot bigger and you push it too far. That's just not really what I want. I want about there, 128. Say with that. And again, if you modify persistence, it doesn't seem to have much effect. Gain, octaves, you can modify that if you want as well. But I'm keeping it at 2. And click apply. Okay, great. I've got another effect here, which I can save if I want to save this. This one I'm not going to save. But what I am going to do is I'm going to change the blending with this. And you can do that layer and fade purl in noise. I always generally use this approach because notice you've also got the blending modes in the filter as well. But I'm just going to go with fade purl in noise. And now I can say just fade down there. And I can go here, normal darken. I think darken looks pretty good. Multiply. And you can see a whole load of different designs. Screen, color dodge, add. Lighter color looks great. I really like that one. But the one I'm going to use, also difference is quite an interesting one as well. But contrast, there, negate, just down the bottom. I think that's a great one. Create some very weird, surreal sort of designs, that strings that run through that sort of initial purl in noise effect. I think it looks great. I'm just going to go with that one. And it's set to 0, the fade. So click apply. And I can save that. So file again, export. And let's go for maybe 5.png. I've got obviously so many of these ones. So export and 5.png and save. Well, what I can also do is I can modify this using other filters. And I'm going to do that a little bit later. So let's just now go and use it as a brush. That's a really good start point. Brushes over here. And the one I'm going to use is found in the basic. You can use any of the other brushes. They've all got the option for texture. So you can use any of them. Got loads. Some are more effective than others. I think sometimes you really hardly notice the effect. But I'm going to go with basic just to show you with the brushes with this one. And the one I'm going to go for is this one. Just 512 round light brush. Now you can modify it in countless ways. And you can always reset it as well. So double click, you've got a reset there. Really useful. If you decide, you know what, I don't like what I've created with the textures. So you've got general, dynamics and texture. And you can see there I've got a texture. And I can change this, I can scale it, you can see the effect there. That's an interesting sort of three-dimensional effect there. Well, what I can do, set texture. Just click that. I can also remove it, I can invert it. So if I click invert, you can see it's a slight difference, but set texture is what I want. Click there. And now I'm going to select the one.png. These are ones I've just created. So one.png, click open. And now you can see the effect there. It's a bit blurry. And you can see as I move that, you've got this texture there, a noise texture that kicks in. So Affinity Photo's noise texture and this brush, what you can then do is use that. And the great thing about this, with this panel open, you can go to the brush tool. You can use some of the other tools, of course, but you can apply it. Now, it's not applying anything at this point, so that suggests that I'm actually applying it to the wrong layer. What I need to do, now if you've got a layer already selected that it's hidden, doesn't mean it will generate a new layer, unfortunately. You have to then go and manually do it. So layer and go over here, a new layer. I'm going to apply it to a new layer. Don't want to apply it to the hidden one. Very odd. It still applies it to the hidden one, doesn't it? But anyway, then you can see what happens. Now I'm using this brush and you can see it's black there. So it's applying it obviously in black. And you can see as you create it. Now you could of course apply this if it was an image as well. So you might have a photo or something. Anything. This noise effect can be applied on top of that. Maybe use different blending modes to create interesting textures and designs using that approach. Also, you can apply it like this. Change the color as well. You can go over here. Let's go for pink. Apply it like that. Maybe go and create another layer. So layer, a new layer, and apply that. But in this case, what you can do, you can also, let's just close it now. I don't want that there. I can go to the layers. I can add blending modes. So effects, layer styles. So click effects and then go here to bevel and emboss. And now you can see as you change that, you'll get different effects. Now, whether it's great or not, depends on all the settings, directions there. You can see you can create all kinds of weird and wonderful designs there. Yes, just about that point, you get this lovely three-dimensional sort of noise texture. You have to tweak these settings a bit, some of the radius settings, also emboss, etc. like that. I think that creates a really interesting sort of texture to any sort of design and image. And click close. Well, what you can also do, let's just remove those now. I'm just going to delete all that. You can go back to the other image and you can just bring that back on. Now, actually the brush stroke there, I guess that suggests you can just apply brushes. Well, okay, got this. I actually want to modify it this time. This time I'm going to add a bit of 3D to it. And unfortunately, Affinity Photo doesn't have a huge range of features, not like Painter. Painter's got some really great 3D sort of manipulation tools. But here in Affinity Photo, all you've really got to create a sort of three-dimensional interesting texture is this one down here, filters and lighting. So filters and lighting. And here, always defaults. Unfortunately, the spot, I don't want that. I want directional. And I can move this around. But also I can go down here to texture. And you can see as I do that, look what happens. It just creates this really lovely 3D texture. Again, it would be lovely if there were a lot more options to manipulate this. Now, I have got the move tool, so I haven't got any of the tools selected here, it seems. If you've got the brush tool selected, you might find you can't move this. I found when I'm doing brushes, you really need the move tool selected. So I just would move this around to get all kinds of different lovely textures. I'm using texture here set to 100. I don't know, let's see if you can. Let's put it to 300. Yeah, you can push it up to 300 or maybe 500 even. So you can create some very interesting textures that obviously gets to the point where it doesn't really change at all. And then click apply. This also can be used to create another texture file, which you can then use for your brush stroke. This time then the brush will be a little bit more depth. So again, fill file and then just go down there and export. So file and export, PNG again, and you've got this massive file. Again, it's not seamless, so you can't, if you go for a small size, 400 by 400, you will end up noticing quite often your seams in your design. So export, and I'm going to save it to 6.png. Start running out of numbers on this, start to get in there. So 6.png, Again, let's just, now I'm going to remove it. I'm not going to continue. Maybe. Let's just leave that back there. Again, hide it. Make certain it's hidden. And what I want to do is create a new layer. So layer and new layer again, because unfortunately the brushes don't automatically create a layer if you've got even a hidden one. Really odd feature. However, then just go there to the brush tool again. And now again, just go over here and you can edit it anytime. Again, reset it at any time. So double click and set texture. And I'm just going to go with this one, 6.png, just what I created just then. And now you can see you've got this. You've got this really weird, and again, you can just increase. So now I think that's probably best to set it about 116, 117, just something slightly bigger than the document. So it's just a bit bigger. If you push it too much, you end up getting very coarse. Let's just push that and you can see what happens. It gets very coarse if you push it too high. So I'm just going to reduce that down to something a bit more realistic, which I think it works there about 104, 105. And I'm using final as well, and click close. Now let's just try invert. You can see the result. Actually, I think invert looks nicer. So invert gives a bit more 3D. And let's go general. I want the size. Yep, that size is okay. Click close. And now let's just set the color to black and apply it. So close. And now you can see you get this lovely 3D texture effect in your image like that. Apply. And again, this can be applied, of course, to an image as well. So I know I'm just applying it to white document. It can be an image. It also can be, let's just go over here and I'm just going to create a gradient. So here's the gradient. Click apply gradient very quickly using the gradient tool. Then go over here, click here, and then swatches and just select something. So we've got this. And again, you can go and apply the brush. So let's just go to the brush tool, apply the brush, and you can see then you get this effect here, just applied to your gradient. So you've got your gradient, and you've also got this lovely texture to it now. And of course, you can always use this as well, exact same as before. You can go here to filters, go to lighting, and in lighting again, always put it back to directional. And with directional, you can move this around, manipulate this, and also modify the texture. And then you can see you can get some really weird and wonderful textures added to your gradient as well. And again, you can tweak this, move this around, and get all kinds of different texture designs just simply by moving that or increase. Now you can push that too high. I think sometimes when it's got three-dimensional, sometimes it ends up getting that coarseness that appears with this texture. Now, unfortunately, there's no smoothness feature, which would be a really lovely addition. But say you just want it down there, you can, of course, create some very interesting textures added to any image, of course, not just apply it with brush strokes. Again, go there, and I'm just going to remove that one. I don't want that anymore. I'm just going to go here and select this and create this sort of design. But again, you can change color, double click, change color, close, create all kinds of different, and of course, exact same as before, you can always resize it. So if you think, oh, that's a bit too small, let's just crease that bit. You don't want to push it again, you start seeing a bit of coarseness coming in there, click close, but you can see the texture effect there as well. And that can be added, like I say, to any image. And also what you can do is you can distort it. So you've got this design. I think it's a real nice design that you can, let's go to filters, colors, and auto levels to get something, maybe not, that doesn't create that. Let's just go with this. Got this little bit of design here. I can now distort it. You could use liquify, you could go over here and use all the personas, but also one of the best ones, filters, make certain the move tool selected, go to filters, distort and deform, and just distort this. And again, this can also be created and used as another texture. So click there, just drag that, add some pins, and you can see you can create all kinds of unique texture designs like this very quickly. I'm doing it very quickly just by dragging out these pins. These pins are very hard to select. I have to say this is one feature that, there's a few features in Infinity Photo that I would love to see changed. I think that one is another one. I would love to see those pins slightly easier to actually click, and click apply. And you've got that. Well, once you've got that, again, you can go file, and you can, again, if you want, file and export if you want to save it. Also, you can do filter and repeat deform, and you can distort it again and repeat deform, and again each time on each iteration you can then save that texture design for future use. Though of course again, because of size, you may get some seams in your design. And of course you can also combine them. This layer, simply go to layer and then you can go to duplicate. So literally infinite amount of combinations can be created by just simply doing this and moving around, and then maybe using blend modes between those layers. So normal, multiply, and you can see just by changing these, again, I always think that one's a great one, but difference, and so on. So you can create some interesting textures, again, save it as a PNG file. Well, I hope you found this of interest. Any questions, please let me know in the comments below. A like or dislike, always appreciated. Bye.